Man, we're fresh off the loss. Fresh. The Patriots beat us, and a lot of people didn't think that was going to happen. I can't front. I thought we was up here Monday, and I was telling you, I was like, we're gonna lose, but we didn't. We kept it going Monday, and then look at us.
Monday was a good win.
Yeah,
Monday, good win. You know what I'm saying? We fell victim to what we knew we was probably going to fall victim to. CJ is, let's say, nervous. The offensive line might have been a little nervous. Thankfully, the defense has not been informed that it's not their job to score points. The defense come into the game like, oh, how many points am I going to score today?
Defense is a team.
So, look, defense wins games. They was definitely winning games, but you still need the offense to do something. Hey, look, it was a good season. Rough start, still came out. So I'm looking forward to next season. They know what they got to fix. They know what they got to build on. I'm definitely not going to knock them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited. At least I'm excited about next season.
The Rockets are ahead right now.
Rockets are playing. Positive. What are we talking about? Rockets playing fantastic right now. Rockets playing fantastic. So I'm good. Houston's actually trying to become a sports city. So I'm good
positive because we got all this young black talent like us, black and ugly as ever. However, I stay Houston down to my socks. It's me, it's Avery, also known as the notorious UNC, also known as the Highway 6 God, also known as Brenda's son. I'm Avery. And then I have my brother over here.
I'm just Devon. That's it. No monikers, no nothing. I'm also Brenda's son because that's my brother, but I don't go by that. We was raised in the same place too, but I ain't get none of the nicknames. You know what I'm saying? Just Devon.
You ain't get it. You just got to give yourself nicknames like just Devon.
Just Devon.
You know?
Straight.
And it is what it is. This is In My Humble Opinion podcast where we talk about all things Houston and beyond.
Is this our first this is our first of the new year?
It is?
2026.
Wait,
the last one was before Christmas. The last one was before Christmas. So this is our first of the new year.
Well, Happy New Year, people. I mean, I'm sure that's already too late to say, but it is, I'm just going to say it anyway. Happy New Year.
February.
You say what?
Once you get into February, you can't say Happy New Year.
You can't say Happy New Year the second week of January. That's too much.
January.
Thank you.
Because in January, you're still like, if you write it down, you're still writing 25. Like, I'm still writing 25
That's you.
in January. A lot of people still are.
I'm sure they are.
That's it. But by the time you get into February, you should be writing 26.
I haven't written down any dates like that. So, yeah, since you're in that type of field.
I was about to say, you don't write?
I write every day because I got to write down what people are talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Put the little date.
Yeah, you got to put, I'm not putting no dates, so just write their name and then be like, what are they talking about and how can I sell this to them? Right. But I'm a terrible person. I'm a salesman. But anyway, we don't have to talk about any of that because what we're talking about today is people that come and overcomes their circumstances, right? There's a lot of things that can happen to you, but then you can either let it affect you or you can persevere. Our next guest persevered through numerous things. All right. Inside of his perseverance, he has an amazing life when it comes to his music career. From working with Dr. Dre, from working with Kanye, from working with Jagged Edge, from working with various acts around this city. We have one of our elite producers. I don't even want to call him just a producer. We have an elite musical entity. Honestly, the album that I joke about that me and my brother are going to do, where we say we want God Body Bingo to write it. If I had somebody to executive produce and produce it, it'd be our next guest, Mark Byrd, ladies and gentlemen.
What up, though? Right. That was like the greatest intro ever. Like,
thank you, sir.
It's like the greatest intro. Thank you.
Man, we're fans of yours. I remember when we went to your studio, you played us all that music and you go, yeah, but none of this is really just going to make the cut. Do you understand, as a person who has made music, I could not pray to get to the level of the quote unquote, like, stuff you didn't want to have make the cut. I was like, that's me giving it the best that I got. I looked at us, I don't think I have what it takes.
I mean, I've had those moments. Those were the things that kind of pushed you. Like, you had those moments where it's just like you go into It's like, yeah, I'm great. Do you get there? You're like, nah, nope. Mm-mm. That's why, like, I always have a quote I tell people. It's like, everybody thinks they're a monster until you meet a monster.
I definitely met a monster.
Yeah, once I started meeting the monsters, I was like, oh, I am not tough.
What was the first monster you met? The first time you met a monster, you were like, oh, I gotta.
The first one?
Yeah.
Man, honestly, the first monster I met, I wasn't even doing music. I just knew what he was. It was like, I used to get into so much in Chicago, I ended up having to move to Augusta, Georgia to finish high school. That was like my mom's, just go down there and finish school. It's like, okay. And I met this guy down there. His name was Buck. And all of my friends, like, I started meeting a crew of friends and they all used to go to this guy. And so this one old head, he took me to Buck's crib one night. It was like midnight. Buck had this spot. It was like the neighborhood was called a Hill. It was like a rough neighborhood in Augusta. And it's like midnight and he's in this garage. It was called the B Shack. And I went back there and it was like, I can honestly say that was the first time I heard a producer that had a sound. Like it was I was 14 years old and years going into that. Anytime I heard a beat, I could tell if Buck did it. And he was actually the first person that kind of like brought me into his studio and let me use his equipment for real. Like he showed me how to use the MPC and how to sample, because the stuff that when me and my friends wanted to rap, we couldn't get the beats that we wanted to rap to. So I was like, I'm gonna make it. And I went to Buck's spot and he kind of like started showing me the MPC and it's like how to use the joint. And I'm like, all right, say less.
So you took that the stuff you were learning in Augusta, you take that back. When do you go back to Chicago?
All right, so it was like a crazy thing. So it was like with music, it was always one foot in, one foot out for me. It was like, all right, yes, I love it. No, I'm gonna go over here and do this thing. That thing.
The thing.
Yeah.
The thing.
And then it's like you jump back in, it's like, yeah, music. No, I'm gonna go back over here and do this. And so it's like, it was always like teeter-tottering. And it's like me, my two best friends, we always thought of ourselves as like so like outer worldly when it came to things because of like how we immersed in culture. Just even at that time, like, you know, being from Chicago, my other partner, he was from Michigan, and my other partner was from Augusta. But if you met him, you would not know he was from Augusta. It was just like the way that we dressed, the way that we saw the world. Like we literally, as teenagers, we were operating as if we were in music videos. So like you thinking about Augusta, Georgia in the 90s. This is like creased khakis. This is duck head matching your Eastland boots. And we coming through here with Donna Karan and Air Force Ones and, you know, stuff like that. And it's like, who are y'all? And that's kind of like how we got like our thing. And it was just like always just like, okay, we see this bigger than everybody else. So when we started to like do stuff, that's how we kind of, it was so funny. Like we were known in Augusta for being a rap group, but we didn't have any songs. Like all of our friends had songs. Like everybody, like our homies had records on radio. Homies was performing, but people knew us like, yo, they can really rap. We ain't have not a song. We had like a beat, and every time we performed a song, it was different. The only thing that stayed the same was the hook. We just knew that was going to stay the same. We freestyled the verses every time we performed. No lie.
Y'all had an image and
we just looked like it.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, I know y'all. Yeah, we didn't have no songs. It's kind of crazy. So it's like that politicked over, and then like we met some people, and it just kept like people just kept meeting us and introducing us to other folks, and then it turned into me moving to Baltimore slightly after that, working with an independent label, and that's kind of where like the birth of me for real producing started. So it's like, all right, cool.
How did you get from that point to say that you wanted to actually move? Because you had one foot in and one foot out, but then you said, I'm going to go to Bodymore Murderland?
I didn't care. I was a nomad at that point. I didn't have any ties to anything. I was just doing whatever I wanted to do. I was literally living my life like that. Like that was when I always laugh when I tell people, because like to know me now, you know how quiet and how peaceful and how reserved I am. At that point, like when I say outside, the only time I was in the house was Tuesday night.
Why?
Because there was nothing going on Tuesday night. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I'm in the clubs.
It wasn't going up on a Tuesday.
Nah, just not on a Tuesday. That was the only night. So like you're really outside. Like I tell people all the time, like anything from 95 to 2005 that happened in the world, like when people are watching television, I missed all of that because I was outside. I was really active. So like when the opportunity came, one of the homies, he was going off to England to pursue his life thing. And I was like, yo, I'm gonna go here. But my whole intention was I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna wreck it just so when my homie come back, we can go ahead and move off of how we wanted to move. And that was the whole reason that I went to Baltimore. It was like, all right, cool. This is going to be an opportunity for me. I was always one of those, like being a hustler, we didn't chase the money. I chased the opportunity.
Got to pivot.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, cool. That's the opportunity. It can get me closer. I can be in New York. I can do boom, boom. All right, bet.
So you knew you wanted to get into music. How old were you at that time?
At that time, I was 21, 22. Well, I thought that's what I wanted to do until you get there and you start doing it. And then you're like, okay, I'm gonna go back and do the other thing for a couple months, and then I'll be back here. And
so you were still 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
I kept starting over.
Yeah,
because it was like I would go there and I would be like, all right, I got a hold on it, and then I'd leave for like months, and then come back. It's like, all right, guys, I'm ready. It's like, no, you're not. You got to start over. Oh, okay, well, cool. Start over. 3-4 months in. You know what? I'll be back. So it was like always that for me.
When's the first time you felt like you had like, I mean, of course it's music. So you're always going to feel like, hey, it's a big break. And then there's another big break. And there's another big break. You talk about meeting your first monster. When was the first like, oh, hey, I got something going now?
Every time I went in the studio, I felt like that for real. Like, I just always felt like something special was going to happen. I mean, there's so many layers to the story because even in that Baltimore era, like, now I was running with people that was close to state property, and that was a thing. And then going to New York and, you know, going to the Source magazine and doing an interview that never came out. But in that same day, I meet somebody that takes me into a session with the Dipset and some other folks, and you move around and you meeting all of these people. And so, yeah, it's like almost every time you feel like it's gonna shake.
So at that time, were you getting songs placed?
Nah, I was rapping.
So that's the thing. You're focused on strictly.
I was an artist and a producer, and at this time it was an indie label, so it was like 6 other artists. So I'm producer for 6 artists. I'm writing hooks for artists. I'm on the songs. I'm rapping myself. I'm doing everything.
You was living the life.
Yeah, and so like that was like the real like training for me as far as that goes. Like, all right, I got to make a song for this person. I got to make a song for that person. I got to make a beat for this person versus I'm just doing this all for myself.
How long was that time period that you were doing that?
It seemed so long, but it wasn't. It was like 2 years, 2.5 years.
That's still a long time to be creative.
Nah, it seemed way longer because you got to think about the breaks. Oh. So like if I leave, I'm leaving for 2-3 months at a time.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I'm coming back. Leave again for like 3 months, come back.
I would say you got your 10,000 hours, but you got your 5,000 hours at that time.
Nah, it was still 10 because I wasn't like I wasn't even going to the crib. Like the studio had a full like bathroom. We had a bathtub with a shower. We had multiple rooms at the couch. Like I never left.
Yeah,
like that was the thing. Like when I first moved to Baltimore, I don't think I seen the crib the first day that I got there, and I don't think I went back for like a week or 2. I stayed at the studio. I would just go to the corner store, buy fresh tees and underwear and shower and bust my moves. I would stay in the studio because I'm like, all right, part of that is like, okay, I want to take advantage of this thing. But then it's like, okay, I still got this other thing when this is not working out. And that's kind of how it was for me. It was like always like, all right, that's my plan B.
What pushes you to say, all right, I'm going to just go with plan A?
That's when the story gets interesting because like while I was in Baltimore, I remember being on the phone with my mom. And like I said, I left my mom when I was 14 years old. I left the crib like freshman year of high school. Like I'm out, like had to go to Georgia. And so you're thinking like this is close to 10 years later. And my mom has never really like come home. I was like, when I tell you I was just out in the world, just doing whatever, I was free. Mm-hmm. And we're having a conversation, and then this conversation is just so normal, and out of nowhere, she just goes, you need to come home. And I was like, yep, okay. Because at that very moment, your mom knows you. And I had to take, like now in retrospect, like after going through all of my therapy and everything, I can look back at that moment. I was empty. I didn't have a soul at that point. Like it was like, when I say anything could happen, and I was cool with it. And so like, going back home was like, okay, I got to get myself together. I'm so far gone that I don't know what's going to happen. And honestly, I didn't care. So that was kind of like the moment. It's like I go back home and then it's like I move in with my mom for a quick second and I had Angels. She accidentally took a beat CD to work and her coworker heard and was like, oh, this guy's amazing. I want to manage him. He was working at the school that she was working at, but he was also a personal trainer for the Chicago Bears. And his client was Desmond Clark. Dez had a record label back in Florida. That was my first music check. But at the same
from coming home, when your mom says, "Hey, come home."
And at the same time, my cousin is having this conversation with my grandmother, like, he's special, and nobody knows. And then somehow or another, it gets to a space where, like, the homeboy that was managing me, my man Gene, him and my cousin, they basically swooped in at the same time, took me out the neighborhood because I was still in the neighborhood, put me in the burbs at my cousin's house and was like, focus. It's like, do a mixtape, give us 6 months. And if this don't work out, you can go back out there.
At least give it a shot.
Yeah.
So Florida, that record label in Florida, that's the first time
I got music money.
And you've been doing this now for
that was like years. That was crazy. Like, cause I forget how much the check. It was like it was very substantial. Mm-hmm. It was substantial to the point. It's like, if you got that now, you'd be happy.
Mm-hmm. Made you look at the other thing and go, maybe
no, it actually made me like, I'm like, okay,
I can invest heavier in the other thing.
Yeah.
Yo, I got enough for whoop. Let's turn up, and that's kind of what was going through my mind.
Yeah,
nobody knew that that's what was happening, so I made that call, and one of my homies, and we was like really about to do that, but I didn't really understand how banks worked because I was so when I took the check to the bank, I'm thinking they about to give me this 20 plus with what I got, and I'm about to go get the thing, and we gonna go do the thing, and it didn't go like that. They held the money. And this is the first time I'm ever really telling this story out in the open. Yeah. And in the interim of them holding the money, the plug got jammed. And I didn't really trust nobody else. And then I started thinking of all of the other stuff I can do with the money, as far as like my family. Yeah. And that was kind of the deterrent.
So instead of doing that thing with the money, what's the first thing you did?
I went and bought my mom and my grandmother stuff. It was like around Mother's Day, so I went and bought them stuff.
Okay.
And I was like, this feels a lot better. Doing stuff for other people. Yeah. It felt great. So I was like, all right, we'll just do this.
So instead of the 1 foot in, 1 foot out, like it still feels like it was one foot in, 1 foot out, but circumstances are stopping you from having your foot in the other thing.
Everything was like, it was so wild at how it was stopping. Like, it was like, it wasn't due to any effort of my own.
Okay.
That's how I know, like, my journey was what it was supposed to be. Because if it was up to me, I wouldn't have stopped. I wouldn't have stopped each one of them plays. I'd have kept it going because I knew what I can do in that. It wasn't me. It was literally everything outside of me. Like, all type of stuff. Even, like, the homies that I'm doing the thing with, they like, nah, G, you special. You can't come around us no more. You got to go do that. What? Y'all can't kick me out of here. Have a whole Denzel moment. I built this. It's like, that's really when I started to lean into the music heavy. It was like not being like having people that told me like, nah, you can't really do this no more. You got to go do that. And now I don't fit in anywhere. So now I kind of got to lean into this thing because this is the only other thing that I have going for myself.
What do you mean you don't fit anywhere?
I didn't understand, like, I didn't fit in working real jobs because I didn't understand that. I didn't fit in the music space because I didn't understand these people. I understand this neighborhood and these folks and the homies that I grew up with more than I understand anything else in life. So even at my time in Baltimore, I didn't really understand, like, the politics and how to move and play the game, so to speak, because it was like I still had that energy and that attitude. Like, yeah, bro, like, this could still go left for you if you say something wrong. Yeah. I didn't understand that type of stuff. Like, oh, they can say that to me and I can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
So
this at the time, this is Big Mark.
Nah. I was still small, but I was like, just my attitude was just so crazy. Like I'll show y'all a picture of that time period. You can see it. You can see it on me. It was like, oh no, that was different.
For the listeners that do not know or may not be familiar, Mark is very peaceful.
Now.
Mark seems like the type of guy that you could just have the easiest conversation with. So him talking about his past is shocking for a lot of people because, Mark, don't test people you don't know. But man, Mark is very polite, but I understand why he's polite.
Leave the quiet ones alone, bro. Yeah. Like I worked hard to not be that person. I was just having that conversation earlier today. I'm thankful that I'm not that person that has to be emotionally cold.
Yeah.
Like I can just freely be who I am. Mm-hmm. Like if you ever see me walk around, you'll seemingly see me walk like I have no worries in the world. It's just, man, when you give it to God and you just let that cover you, it's just like, man, I'll be all right.
I mean, you've talked about it. You've gone through counseling. And you do counseling now. But like, what's the first step to getting you along the path to be like, hey, let me stop being the old me?
Around all of this time, I meet this lady. She was a little older than me. And, we all do things chasing women. And you gonna have to go to church. Cool. Then I got to church and I was like, I like this a lot more than I like you. And I stopped going for her and I started going for myself. And once I started developing a relationship with God for real, and this is like, I was like 24, 25 at the time. Now it's like really like a whirlwind because around that time that was close to my last suicide attempt, which was my third attempt by the time I was 24. So by that time now it's like, okay, now I'm developing this relationship with God and now I'm talking to deacons and I have a personal relationship with the pastor and all of these other people. And now it's just like, oh, I'm starting to understand life now.
Yeah.
And I remember having a conversation with my pastor and the first thing he told me was like, you have something in you. And it was so crazy because what he told me was, you have to learn how to forgive yourself. And I was like, what does that mean? Mm-hmm. Like, what does that even look like? And then I realized like, oh, wow, that was holding me back from a lot. Because
what was it that you weren't forgiving yourself for?
A lot. That's all I can say. But not because it's like you go through life and then you're like, okay, now your eyes are opened. And now you look back at all of the things that you were part of. And now it's just like, am I even worthy of certain things? Because I did so much stuff. And it's like, you don't, when you're not mature in your spirituality or your emotion, you don't know that you can be forgiven for certain things. And once I started to get to understand how to forgive myself and even forgive other people, I started to be able to get through some stuff. But it was a long process as far as like the mental, spiritual, and the emotional healing. That process was like, it started around 24, 25, and it's still ongoing every single day. Yeah. So that was a long process.
And when you talk about things like, suicide attempts and things like that, because this is juxtaposed against the fact that things are also going well for you. You're building a career. Yeah. But on the flip side is you're still having you're still affected mentally. Is it like through guilt? Is it survivor's remorse? Is it guilt? Is it what is it?
It's everything.
Yeah.
It's guilt. It's survivor's remorse. It's just not even understanding. It's the heaviness of everything that you've ever seen and dealt with that you've never everything that you've ever seen and dealt with, but you've never actually dealt with in terms of healing and getting over it. I'll give you one even crazier. My last attempt, I was already a father. And that's why like I remember making this post and I was trying to explain to people, depression and suicide does not look like what you think it looks like. It doesn't move how you think it should move. Most people feel like, oh, you should look at your life and you have all of this stuff to live for it. Man, that monster don't care nothing about none of that.
Yeah.
That monster did not care about my fatherhood. It did not care about my family. It did not care about me. And I didn't know how to control that thing until, the last one. I remember my mom's was moving from out the neighborhood. And like I told you, I was back and forth from my cousin's house in the burbs. Everybody thought I was somewhere else. My cousin thought I was at my mom's house on the north side. My mom thought I was at my cousin's house. I was in the old apartment, which was actually, that building was condemned and they were supposed to like destroy that building. I went in there and it was still stuff that we had. And I drank, I want to say it was gin. I drank the whole bottle and whatever pills was in the medicine cabinet, I took every one of those. And I woke up the very next day and I didn't even have a headache. And at that moment, I was like, all right, man, I was trying. Mm-hmm. And it was like, that was like, okay, I must have something to do. I just don't know what it is yet.
What tells you to move in that direction? If you don't mind me asking that. I know that's a very serious question.
Honestly, man, I can't even tell you what it is. It's just a feeling that you have. It's just, the overall feeling just tells you the world is fine without you in it. Your people will be better off without you here. Just, it'll be less stress without you in it. And that's just how you thinking. Like, okay, cool.
Not after. No, go ahead.
And you're like, all right, well, if that's the case, if that's how, that's the feeling that you feel. So it's like, okay, I may have not done everything right by my child. I may have not done everything right by my family. I may have not done everything right by this person and that person. So if I'm not around, then they'll be okay. Because I won't be there to
mess it up.
Okay, cool. Let me go ahead. And that's kind of what it looks like. That's what it feels like.
But you wake up the next day, you don't have a headache. And you're just like, what was it? Just all right, so I got a purpose. There's got to be a reason.
I didn't understand why I didn't understand why I woke up, first of all. Mm-hmm. And I didn't understand why I felt zero effects. And honestly, you just get up and carry on like nothing happened. Nobody knew this. Like, for real, like, it's a lot of people in my life, like family, friends that are going to hear this interview and be like, what? I had no clue.
Yeah.
Like, my best friends, like, they didn't know. Like, the first time I attempted to suicide, I was with them that night. Like, we was kicking it at a party, doing our thing. I went in the house. I tried. The next day, we was outside like nothing happened. I was like, all right, well, cool.
How old were you the first time?
17.
The same demon came and told you, hey.
Mm-hmm. So it's like, even that day, like when it happened, I didn't understand. Like I said, I wasn't in church. I didn't understand purpose. I didn't understand none of that. I just got up the next day and was like, okay, I knew that it was different, but I didn't know what was different. So I was like, business as usual. Let's just go on about the day. And the more and more I went in life, I just got led to where I was supposed to go. So, yeah.
When you started, so yours is like driven by like a renewed sense of purpose.
It's just, I don't understand. I just, like I say, like once I started to go to church, I had a whole thing. It was like, okay, yes, you feel things. And then it's like, even in church, it's like after that, you go through some stuff. It's like, I don't want to go to this church anymore. I don't like the way y'all are behaving. This is not what the Lord wants me to see. And then you leave church.
Okay.
And I left church for a long time. And I will say that was the moment. Leaving church, as far as like my spirituality goes. Because now it's like, okay, God, I now know of you for real. Like, it's not that I didn't know God when I was younger, but you don't recognize it when you're living in that type of darkness. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, like, even with the suicide, I'm not waking up and saying, oh, God saved me. I'm like, I just knew it was something.
Yeah.
I wasn't conscious enough to just give it all to God right at that moment. That would normally be the moment that would make people just give it all to him. It's like, nah, it's like, all right, cool. And so, like, once I learned God and who God was, once I left the church, it was like, okay, now it's just me and you. Nobody else's ideology. Nobody else telling me what they went through. Now it's just me and you. I have to develop this relationship, you and I. We gonna go off into the wilderness and we gonna figure this thing out. And that's kind of how my relationship with God really started, was when I left. Because it was like, no more, I'm no longer doing this for anybody else. I'm not here because of this woman. I'm not influenced by anybody's churching. I'm not influenced by who gets the Holy Ghost over here. Now it's just me and God. And that was the fight. That was the fight. That was like, okay, God, I believe in you. Then it got so low to like, it was like one day I was like, I do not believe in you anymore. You got to show me something. Mm-hmm. And it was a fight. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
How'd you get out of the fight?
I heard the voice. And like I tell a lot of people, like, man, if you do your research, one of the things that you'll understand is how God works. It's like usually through signs. He's going to give you signs along the way. Coming to you directly is kind of like last resort. It's like, and that's kind of how I felt like it was. It was like, because you had given me all of these great signs. I had believed. I had now become a believer. You had given me all of these great signs, but still, I found a way not to trust. I tell people all the time, belief and trust, completely different things, right? I believed in you, but did I trust to do exactly what was told to me to do? And so this one particular day I was at work. It hit me like a ton of bricks. Like I was crying. I went in the car. I'm like going through it. My job was so sweet. I was working for Google. Like I was in the car for like 2.5 hours and nobody knew I was gone. That's how sweet it was.
The good days.
But I'm in this car and I'm just like going through it. Every emotion possible. I'm laughing. I'm crying. I'm cursing out God. I'm apologizing for cursing and going through it. And then it's like, prepare yourself for the hardest times of your life, but see it through because it's worth it. Got out the car. I think I may have been working there for like 3 weeks. Thank you guys for the job. I appreciate it, but I gotta leave. Walk right out.
So quick Google.
Yeah.
Google.
Get on the highway and it's like, yes, God, I believe you. I trust you. Get on the highway. What the did I just do?
At the time you had a kid at that time, correct?
Doug, at this time,
yeah.
When this is happening, this is after all of the music stuff happening in Chicago. This is leaving Chicago. This is going to Atlanta. This is after Jeremiah. This is after Cassie. This is after all of these placements and this, that, and the third. This is all after that.
So this is that you had.
I had 2 kids at this time. I'm like, yes, I'm quitting.
So let's back.
What am I doing? This is the dumbest thing ever.
One, this conversation got deeper than I thought I was going to get, but it's okay. It's okay. Because let's back up, because it does also talk about, like you were saying, you never know what people are going through because you're getting legitimate placements. Like you said, Jeremiah.
I'm doing all of this with a job.
You're working this stuff and you're getting these things with the job. Talk about talk about some of the work that you're getting at this time. And this is when you're still treating it as this is a side thing.
I was doing that after work. It wasn't like I would do this full time and I'm working part time. No, I was doing this after work. So at that time, I want to say we had got the Twister record, which was like our first big placement. Jeremiah came, the Cool Kids, Cassie, Raekwon. It was some other stuff along the way, but all of this was already done at the time that I hear the voice.
Yeah.
All of this is after, like, this is done, and I'm still like, I don't believe in you, God. Like, what's wrong with me? And that, I feel like that's why I had to hear the voice. It's like, I'm telling y'all stuff, and y'all looking at me like, fool, you've been getting the signs your whole life. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt like God was. It's like I'm smacking you upside the head every time and you still ain't getting it.
And was it, when you're talking about the voice, when you walk away from the job, is it to go into music fully? Is it to, I don't know what's going to happen?
It's just to do what I told you to do. At this time, I was doing music, and this is when I'm like really serious about music. So it's like, all right, cool. Bet. And this is going to segue perfectly into everything else because I'm about to tell you when this happened. This is 2015, which is the greatest and worst year of my life at the same time. It's the most amazing story ever. Like, okay, cool. This is October, November of 2015. So prior to that, June of 2015, my birthday. So I'm working at, this is how I ended up being at Google. I'm working at T-Vana. I'm gonna try to shorten it. So I'm working at T-Vana Corporation. We get bought out by Starbucks. So they come in and they go, hey, you can move to Seattle. We'll pay for the move, or we can just give you a severance package. So in my mind, I go, if I did all of this with a 9-to-5, if I got a nice little bag where I can just focus on music for 6 months, I know I can do so much more. And also at this time, I'm working with CyHi. This is when I started working with CyHi. Okay. So I'm like, yeah, I can do everything if I just get 6 months to just focus. So this is my thought process. So I'm like, I'm gonna take the package. I'm gonna take the severance package. I'm good money. So I'm about to celebrate my birthday. It's the day before my birthday. I go to this seafood spot I've been trying to go to, but it was takeout only. So get back, taking it to the crib, just getting in the house. And it's like coming back. It's like, where's my car? It's like, where did you park it? In this empty space. Stole my car. So I'm like, this can't be real. Okay, cool. All right, whatever. So I know I got the severance package coming. And then also randomly, I'm in the studio one day and all of this is going on at the same time. I'm in the studio with CyHi. He's working on his album. He was on Def Jam at the time. I'm just there. He goes, hey, Byrd, I got this show. Can you DJ? I'm like, nah. Like, what? I was like, I've never DJed in my life, G. I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, no, bro, you can do it. I'm like, no, I can't. I'm not about to commit to this and get up here and just mess up your show on stage. I've seen you perform. It's a great show. I'm not about to mess that up. I don't know what I'm doing. No, bro, you can do it. So I'm like, okay, sure. I practice and then I call him in. Like, we in the studio. I go into a whole other room and try to practice the set by myself and I call him in. I was like, let's do a practice. And then we do it. We do like a practice run of 2 songs. Mind you, I'm not well versed. I still don't know. He's like, yeah, that's it. No, that's not it. We need to really do the whole show. He's like, no, you good. We got so
yeah, faith in you.
So yeah, go give such and such your info. My info for what? Yeah, the show is in Utah. Why are we? Okay. So I do that. So now I'm about to be CyHi's DJ. So then I go to work and they go, yeah, we gonna give you this nice check, but we gonna tax it by 40%.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's
bro, I gotta get another car. So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So I do the show with CyHi. It goes great. I get this car and then I get the email from the spot. It's like, yeah, we're going up on your rent. No, you're not. How y'all gonna go up on my rent and somebody stole my car from a gated community? You can't go up on my rent. Yeah. So leave out of there. Crazy. As I'm moving into the new spot, I get an alert from my bank. Account at 0. Previous debt wiped my entire account out.
Ah, okay.
Going through it.
So now I'm like, oh, the plan to focus on music for 6 months is shot. Got to go back to work. So I get this job at like the worst place ever. And I just take it just to have some type of income. And I'm actively looking for something else. So in this interim, this is like a couple months. This is like August, September. So then October comes and A3C is coming up and CyHi gets the main stage at A3C. And he's like, yo, we got to practice. I'm like, oh, now you want to practice. Because now I'm his DJ at this time.
Yeah.
Don't ask me how the show just went that good that he was like, I want to keep you as my DJ. I'm like, okay. Never DJed in my life. So we get the main stage and he like, yo, we got to practice, boom, boom, boom. So I'm like, gee, I just got this job. I don't know. I try to take a little, they wouldn't let me off. So I just called in sick. So I come back to work. We do the show. It goes great. I come back to work and they're like, my coworkers are like, they said they're going to fire you. I'm like, so I've been kicked out of better places than this. And as like, I'm feeling the tension. I know it's coming. So on my little 15-minute break, I go out to the parking lot and I check my phone and that's when Google called and offered me the job. So I'm like, that perfect transition. So I actually get the Google job and I come back and I was like, they can't fire me because I'm quitting today. So I quit. I go to Google. That's when I hear the voice.
And 3 weeks later, the voice tells you to leave.
Yeah. And so I hear the voice. I get on the freeway and legit the voice was not wrong. Everything that could have happened and it went bad. I ended up pretty much having to leave the place that I was living at. Nobody knew that my best friends. So my people were still in Augusta. My 2 best friends were still in Augusta. Nobody knew this for months. I was living in Augusta, but I was just driving to Atlanta to studios every day. It was a 2.5 hour drive there and a 2.5 hour drive back.
Every day.
Every day I'm just busting moves. So good grace of God, something comes up. I do a late night session, talk to one of my people. We end up figuring out a situation for me to stay in Atlanta. So I do that December of 2015, because of course I don't have income like that. My car got repoed with my equipment in it. Yeah. Because I was just coming from a session and I was too tired to take it out. So the repo company was like, we need $500 just so you can get your stuff out. Jesus Christ. So I scrape up this $500, I get my stuff out, forget the car, I'll figure that out later. So now I'm about to be disobedient. God told me, see it through. What I do? I'm gonna go try to find a job because I have to take care of myself. God, I'm not trusting. So everything, again, the blockage comes now. How everything was blocked before, same thing happened. I put in like 5 to 10 applications a day, 5 days a week for like a month. No callbacks. I got rejected from Wendy's.
Damn.
I had a firearm permit and security experience and got rejected from every security job I applied to. January 2015, CyHi hits me and goes, we got all of these shows in January. So I was like, at least I got money to make sure I can pay stuff for the kids for January, this. I see the last date on the joint and I'm like, LA. We're either gonna see Ye at the studio or he's coming to the show. Either way, should be prepared for the moment. That's what I tell myself.
You didn't know this was not confirmed. This is just something that you thought in your head.
Because I seen the last show date was LA. And
you were like, it
has to happen.
It has to happen.
And yeah. Get off the plane. This is when you used to have to turn your phone off on the plane in 2015. Get off, turn my phone on, get an address, get a text, come to this address, I come to the address. It's the building with a door and an auto shop next to it. And you like hit the phone, like I think I'm outside. Bro, come on, open the door, put my suitcase in the car, go in the building. And first thing is like, take your phone, sign this. And as I'm signing this, y'all know, I joke a lot. So as I'm signing this joint, I look up and Kirk Franklin is walking down the hall and I look at CyHi and I'm like, what are you doing in the studio with him? You a heathen. That's Kirk Franklin. And I'm starting singing the Sesame Street joint. One of these things is not like the other. So then CyHi tells the security guard, like, nah, bro, one of us. So dude, give me my phone back. So I was like, yeah, chump. That's what I said in my mind. I didn't say it to him. Man had an AR-15. I wasn't gonna say that. And so we go in the back and we listening to music. And then, like I say, we did everything that we weren't supposed to. CyHi goes, hey, bro, you want to go to a basketball game? Sure, let's go. We go to this UCLA game. A few series of events happen on the way to the game. We go back to we leave, we go get food. We go back to his crib because he was staying in LA for a minute. We never did sound check for that show. We didn't practice, nothing. It was the funniest show ever, but it was like actually one of our best shows, but it was hilarious because this is how it went. So we go on stage and this is how we actually started to build our formula. I was like, all right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go up 5 minutes before you go up and I'm gonna just play music to test the sound and I'm gonna just walk around and check the mics. So that became our thing. I would always go on stage 10 minutes before he came out. But what we started to do is that's when we would prime the crowd. So whatever the house DJ was playing, I'm about to turn that off and I'm gonna play hip hop music to get people in the mood to hear CyHi rap.
Makes sense.
But sometimes I'm checking the mic too, like, oh, okay, yeah. And I know now how he likes the sound. We need more monitors we need more vocal in the side monitors. We need the music right here in the front. Boom, boom, boom. So now he don't even have to be a sound check. But this all became off of that one night because we didn't go to sound check by accident. So I'm like, what songs are we doing? This fool looks at me and goes, we're gonna do the intro and we going into Huey. And I'm like, what's after that? He's like, nobody knew. And now it's like, CyHi the Prynce. And I'm like, we have no set order. So we do the intro, we do Huey, and the crowd is nuts. This fool. Yeah, we ain't even practiced. Oh, you gonna tell him that? So if y'all want to hear something, tell Byrd. So now the crowd is like, play this. And I'm like,
sideways.
So I'm looking at him, I'm like, since you put me on the spot, I'm about to have my own personal CyHi concert. I'm about to play all the songs I want you to rap. So I'm just firing off stuff. And the show was amazing because we did not miss a beat. It was so crazy. So we leave the show, we get dressed. And what was funny is he was telling me about this strip club. And he was like, oh, Byrd, we got to go tonight. I was like, yeah, let's go. I'm not a strip club guy. But he sold it so well. And I was like, I'm willing to go.
He's good with words.
Yeah. And I went and it was cool. And so we leave the strip club and then we go to the studio. Mind you, I've never checked into my hotel or nothing. I normally have a whole itinerary. I usually land, go to the hotel, chill out, go to sound check, do sound check, back to the hotel, eat dinner, chill, go to the show. After the show, we're back to the hotel and we leave first thing in the morning, if not that same night. We never stayed in the city. Like we never stayed. Like when me and CyHi would be on tour, we never stayed. After the show, if we're not leaving that same night, we out 5, 6 in the morning. That's just how that was our thing. But this day, everything was different. So we go to the studio, some stuff happens. We write some stuff. It sticks. They like, hey, stick around. I'm like, cool. We do some more stuff. They're like, hey, stick around some more. Cool. And that was it.
Who's saying, hey, stick around?
You know, the crew, the homies, and then what that manifested into those were the Life of Pablo sessions.
So when you're saying like a Life of Pablo, of course, you got Kirk Franklin. Who else is popping up at the studio?
Everybody. It was legit. You just didn't know who you were going to see walking down the hall. Like, for real. It's like you see Kirk, you see the Kardashians, you see, I was there, Tyga was there, 3 Stacks was there. I met Lil Uzi all the way back then. Uzi was there with Cannon. Yeah. I remember one time, like, it was so crazy. They moved us from one studio to a studio around the corner that was walking distance. And we're over there. We just kicking it in there, vibing. Get a knock at the door. It's 3 Stacks. He was like, hey, can I come in and write? Sure. Yeah, the room is yours. Then you get a knock at the door. It's like, yeah, Kirk Franklin is here with Kelly Price and the choir. All right, we're going to go to the movies. We'll be back. Come back. Tiana Taylor's coming through with Kalani. It's like everybody was there. You just never knew who you was going to see if you just walked in the hallway. It was the most random. It was definitely a bunch of random people. You're like, why are these people here? You know what I'm saying? You get a Teddy Riley sighting. Like, why is Teddy Riley here? Yeah. The Kirk Franklin thing was the one that threw me the most. I'm like, why is Kirk here with Kanye and CyHi? It was like, okay.
So then it's like, so when do you even find out, oh, okay, these are the Life of Pablo sessions? When do you even find out about the concept of Life of Pablo?
I find out that the sessions was Life of Pablo like that same night. I eventually found out what it was that we were in. But like, it's funny because nobody knew that that's what was going to be the album.
The album called something else.
The album was called Somewhere I Saw Heaven. It was called Swish. So what was funny is,
Swish, yeah.
So this is the funniest thing ever. We were in the room that was right next to the merchandise room. So they was making up the t-shirts and all of this. And then Ye goes on the radio and he was on Big Boy. Big Boy is like, so what's the name of the album? And Ye's like, I don't know.
But there's merchandise that got Swish on it. Okay.
The Life of Pablo didn't come until like 6 days before the album came out. He had to change everything.
And this is especially during that time when Ye is out just creating an album in front of the public.
It was hilarious at the fact that like he went on live radio and just changed everything and nobody knew.
So when y'all are there and y'all are listening on live radio or you're getting word on live radio.
We heard it later.
Okay.
Because we was working.
Yeah.
We heard it later. He was like, man, bro, changed the name of the album to what? Nobody knows.
Okay.
This is interesting.
And you got the Life of Pablo session. So the other thing too is, and just so the listeners know, Mark tells stories the same way like Forrest Gump will tell a story. Like there's people in the story, but he does not really care about the people in the story.
I be just,
so he just be flying through it and then be
bad.
like, oh, like you were like, yeah, because you know, CyHi called it. CyHi the Prynce.
Yeah.
How do you even connect with CyHi the Prynce? Because it's very important because you meet people that also connects you to other people.
Yeah, so I meet CyHi the Prynce on Twitter. This is like 2010 Twitter. 2010 Twitter was cracking if you were up at 2 a.m. Anybody in the industry, if you stay, all right, is a guy, and all of this comes back full circle. He's an engineer, K.R.I.T engineer. K.R.I.T used to tweet every night around 2 to 3 a.m, real nigga hours. And so me and my homie, we realized like, okay, the people that are actually really in the industry are up at this time. So we start staying up. So whenever K.R.I.T would tweet real nigga hours, we would retweet it. And that's how people hashtag. That's how people would find each other that was doing music. So somehow or another, I contacted CyHi on Twitter, got his email, and I would send him beats. One of the homegirls, Tola, she was always hitting me like, who's managing y'all? Who's managing y'all? And I'm like, I'm not telling you. Because why are you asking me? Be honest with me, I'll be honest with you. And so one day we were in New York and she was honest and I told her the situation and she's like, I want to introduce you to somebody. And he's in Atlanta. And I was like, cool. And I'm like, who is he? It's like this guy, Mike Brinkley. And I'm like, say word. I go meet Brinkley. Go to meet Mike Brinkley. Mike Brinkley just happened to manage CyHi the Prynce.
Okay.
Mike Brinkley also managed John Connor.
Yes.
John Connor. So CyHi took me to Kanye. John Connor was the connect to meeting Dr. Dre.
Andre Young, baby.
Okay.
Now, all of this is actually going on around the same time because the story that I'm telling, this is how this works. So after the Pablo thing, I don't know I'm on the album. I leave. Okay. I go home. My daughter has a daddy-daughter dance this one particular weekend. Valentine's Day weekend, 2016. Valentine's Day is also my mom's birthday. So my daughter has a daddy-daughter dance. I don't have money. I pawn all of my stuff. Laptop, everything. I'm not disappointing my kid. This music stuff, I'll figure that out another time. I'm not disappointing my baby. So pawn all of my stuff. By the good grace of God, my homeboy was going home that same weekend to visit his fam. So he let me ride with him and I just had to give him gas, which saved me because I definitely didn't have plane ticket money. Go here, do the dance. Great time. We have a ball. Saturday comes, I'm at my cousin's crib. We watching All-Star Weekend. That's when the Ye album comes out. It's hilarious. We listening. He's like, man, I can't believe you was there. And I was like, yeah, man, it was a great time. Because in my mind, I'm just doing this off the strength of this. I'm just a solid person. So me and my homie just we vibing. And so Sunday comes, I go see my mom's, and now me and the homie, we in the car and we driving back. It's a snowstorm. And now it's like, now reality hit. It's like, dog, I got like $35 to my name. No equipment, no nothing. I got to give my dog $25 for gas. So last 10, I'm going to eat this White Castle with because I ain't going to see White Castle until whenever I come back to the crib. Now I'm about to break down again because I'm like, what am I doing? Like, what's going on? And I'm literally on the passenger side of the whip and I'm like about to cry because like I'm literally breaking. And I get a text message. It's like, congratulations. I ignore it. Another message like, do you know what you just did? It's like, why didn't you tell me? What are you talking about? Open the messages and like the homies were screenshotting the Life of Pablo credits and my name was there. That's how I found out. I didn't know until Feedback and FML. I didn't even know until the day the album dropped when the credits came out.
That's huge.
And that very next month, I ended up going to LA for an event. And I'm still like broke. My people made sure I made it out there for the event. I didn't really have it.
You know what? Back up before you get into this next part, because there's also this, it's the back and forth of you're gaining success musically. Mm-hmm. Twisted, Jeremiah, Cassie, CyHi, Yay, Kirk Frank, like all these people are around. Also, you are bumming rides. You are pawning your equipment. You are selling stuff, getting money, just keeping things afloat. What's your mental like at that state? At that state of seeing and people around you got to be like, hey, dog, look, you have made it. And you're like, dog, I got to pay bills.
To be honest, at that time,
yeah.
After hearing the voice, I was cool mentally.
So at that point, you're like, oh, it's straight.
Because
it's gonna work.
That's when I knew that's when I started to understand that there was a purpose in it all. While the money may not have been there, the things that were going to get me to the money was there.
Okay.
And I have this saying, you don't get to be around these people if you're not going to be one of these people.
Okay.
So I was resting. Honestly, I was just putting it all in God's hands on that one.
Okay, well, let's go. Okay, so back to the story. Yeah. You back in LA?
Yeah, so I go back to LA for an event and I text John and I'm like, yo, I'm in LA. And it's literally like the same type of situation with CyHi. He just texts me an address. Don't say nothing. Just like text me address 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. Like, what are you saying? Do you want me to come? Okay, whatever. So GPS joint is literally like 4 minutes down the street from where I was. So I go. Pull up. We have a great time. Go back again. We working on stuff. Great time. Because John is like actually my homie at this time. I'm just pulling up to the sessions on some homie stuff. Yeah. Not even worried about being on your album. I'm just your homeboy at this point. Hey, Byrd, do this for me. All right, cool. I'll do it. So I'm meeting other people. Now, mind you, I do know other people in Dre's camp because I met Focus in 2007. And this is why I tell people the importance of relationships, because I kept that relationship. Seeing Focus when I first moved to Atlanta in 2010. Got his number and we would just talk. It was never music. I would go to his crib. He would call, check on me. I would call him and we were just friends. It was never really about music. So Focus introduces me to somebody named Ty. Ty was the Aftermath A&R at this time. By being a solid individual and keeping relationships, Ty ended up calling it was a lady named K.R.I.T. K.R.I.T was in Atlanta for something and Ty was like, yo, can you look out for my people? And I was like, for sure. I was like, tell them they don't even need try to worry about no ride. I'll just come pick them up from the airport, take them wherever they got to go. Off the strength of your name, because we just do solid people stuff. K.R.I.T ends up being Anderson .Paak's manager. So I end up being around K.R.I.T. I end up being around Ty. I end up being around Focus. I end up being around John. So by the time I'm in this session, one day I'm about to leave and go back to Atlanta. And John goes, something doesn't feel right. He's like, I feel like you're not supposed to leave. And I was like, yeah, I feel the same way. All right, my guy, I'll holler at you. Because I have no clue how I'm going to stay. I ain't got no money. And so John goes, we're working in Paramount Studios. And he goes, I'm going to put your name on the list tomorrow anyway. Because the only way you can get in Paramount is if you're on the list. So I was like, cool, whatever. I'm not thinking nothing of it. I'm about to go get my stuff together and get on this flight. And then I get back and I'm just like, something really doesn't seem right. So I'm talking to a few people and they're like, hey, fool, how'd you fly out there? And I was like, Southwest. It's like, yeah, you can change your flight without paying. And I was with one of my homies and her whole thing was, as long as you take me to the sessions, because she was trying to get on as a writer, she's like, I'll take you everywhere you can go and you can stay on my couch. Say less. I need a ride anyway.
Yeah. The grace of God.
Change my flight. I show up the next day. Everybody goes crazy. Like, oh, Bird's still here. So Ty comes to the session and he has on, I never forget this, he has on this Dilla hat. And I'm like, yo. And Ty's like, yeah, I got a bunch of these. I used to manage Slum Village. I was like, you can't just say that. What do you mean? He's like, yeah, I'll bring you one tomorrow. So I was like, cool. So we go to the studio the next day. I get there a little later because I end up going to another session. So I'm coming in and Ty is walking out. And he's like, oh, I got a surprise for you. So I'm dapping him and my homegirl is with me. And I look at it, I was like, yeah, he got my hat. That wasn't the surprise. I walk in the room and Dre is sitting right there at the board with John. And I'm like, wow. Okay, nobody ever prepared. You're never ready for that moment. And it's just like, oh my God, I'm going to be cool. But on the inside, I'm losing it. It's like my Rushmore, Quincy, Dre.
That's it.
That's how my Rushmore starts. Quincy, Dre. So to see that man in the flesh, and I'm just like, oh my God, this is crazy. And yeah, that was the first time we met. Then 2 years later, I was supposed to, this is why I bring up Focus. 2017. I meet Focus in 07. 2018 in LA in NAMM, me and Focus are supposed to meet. I call him. He like, oh, I forgot I had to do something with my wife. Where are you at? I'm like, I'm at NAMM, where we were supposed to meet at. He's like, yeah, you staying in LA? I'm like, yeah. He's like, hit me when you get back. I'm like, bet. I get back to LA from NAMM because that's in Anaheim. It's like an hour and some change or whatever. So I drive back, get to my hotel. I'm exhausted. I'm on like 30 hours, no sleep. I take a shower and I'm like, oh my God, I'm fading. So I hit Focus. And in the back of my mind, part of me is like, I hope you don't even reply. So he replies. He was like, yeah, I'm at such and such. And I'm like, what does that mean? So I throw it out there. I'm like, well, I can be there in 30 minutes. Come on. Damn, I wanted to go to sleep. Get up. Go to, I go to Starbucks. I was like, yo, I need something sweet, but I need the strongest stuff you can make for me because I need to be up for like 20 hours if you can. I'm going to tell the story now. Nobody's ever heard the story. For real. I've never told it out loud. So I get to the studio and I had been there. So I kind of know like the staff and everybody. So I'm like, where's everybody at? A room and B room. And it was like, man, the B room. I'm like, everybody in the B room. Who just goes voluntarily to the B room? This is what I'm thinking. So go in the B room and the way the door opens, like I can't even see the homie. I see everybody. I see other people and I know these guys. So I'm like, oh. And he's there.
Who's he?
Dre is there again.
Yes.
So we speak and he's like, yeah, good to see you again, my nigga. So in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, he remembered me. I'm the greatest of all time. This is what I'm telling myself. So it's like, so they play me some music. I can't get into the specifics of that. But what I will say is this. Going back to the original quote, everybody thinks there's a monster until you meet a monster. At this time, this is after No Dope on Sundays. This is after all of this stuff. I cannot articulate what I heard. Till this day, I can't do it. Still, I will say this, and I'm going to say it, and it's going to sound like I'm joking. I'm not joking. I'm not. After what I heard, I thought to myself, if this is the level that I have to get to, I'm fine right now. I'm cool with never doing this again. Like, I seriously could have quit music that day because it scared me that much. Like, what I heard, like, that was like the biggest monster ever. It was like, whoa. Like, what do you want me to do? And then so it's like, so you hearing all of this and you can't, like I said, I can't put it into words. It was enough to make me feel like I'm fine. I don't ever have to do this again because if that's the bar, I don't know how I'm gonna get there. That's what I heard. How am I supposed to achieve that? That's what it was like.
I can imagine. He's the greatest.
So you hear this, and then after you hear all of this music, my man Ty goes, yeah, I see you brought your backpack. And Dre goes, yeah, my nigga, you gonna play music or you just came to chill? You get one shot, G. What you gonna do? So I pull out the laptop and now I'm like, I'm in hustle mode because now like the street background is always in my mind. So I'm thinking probability, statistics. I'm looking at numbers. I'm like, ooh, all right, bet. There's 9, 10 of us in the room. If I can get half the room, I did all right. So I'm so nervous. I'm making this playlist. I'm sweating, back sweats. My stomach is bubbling. I gotta go to the bathroom. I got the BGs. I'm texting everybody I know like I don't know what to do. Nobody's replying because it's 4:00 in the morning on the East Coast and I'm losing it. And I was like, I get a drink. The homie was like, you drinking? And I'm like, nah. You're like, yeah, nigga, you drinking? Okay, yes, Mr. Dr. Dre, sir, I am drinking. So He comes in and he hands me the drink, and I take the sip, and that kind of knocks the edge off. And he's like, "You ready?" Now, mind you, my head was down the whole time, focused on making this playlist. So I'm like, "Yeah, I'm ready." So I look up, nobody in the room, G. It's just me, him, and the engineer.
Ooh.
So now it's like getting half the room. That theory's out the window. And it's like, then he sits directly across from me. And I'm like, so if I mess this up, I'm gonna see this happen. Okay, let's go for it. So I play the first record. He's like, yeah, put that to the side. I'm like,
First one.
So now I'm like, all right, the nerves is gone. So I play the second one and he like, yeah, put that. And I'm like, now I'm in the groove. Now I'm like, oh yeah, you can't stop me. And so we go through, I get to the third one and he stops me and he was like, yo, he's like, nah, that's crazy. He was like, the first two where I'm really sitting though. He was like, give me a couple more, and if not, we'll go back to the first two. And in my mind, I was like, go back, what we doing? I don't know what's going on. So I play the fourth record. By the time I play the fourth record, now people are coming in the room, and they're like, yo, what is this? And somehow or another, we end up back on the first two records, and now we're cutting vocals. And I'm like, this is the most surreal thing I've ever been through in my life. So I work a couple days and I leave and I go back to Atlanta.
What do the songs end up being?
Can't talk about that.
Because this is also Dr. Dre, who is notorious for
can't
creating a lot of stuff.
Can't talk about that.
It might just sit.
So then you go back like a month or so later and work another couple days. And then after that, I go on tour with CyHi and K.R.I.T. And while I'm on tour, I get a call from Ty. He's like, yeah, you about to get a phone call. I was like, from who? He's like, just answer it. I'm like, all right, whatever, nigga. Easter Sunday, 2018, I get a phone call. I'm like, who the fuck is this? It's like, yeah, it's Dre, nigga. I'm just checking in on you. Did I just get a fucking wellness check from Dr. Dre? This is the greatest moment of my life. I'm the best. I'm the greatest. And it's like, just built a relationship from there. And it's like, that's, I appreciate Holmes and everything that he's been for me. Like, super solid guy.
Seems like it.
It's another thing too where like you and I have talked. We're talking about the fact that Dr. Dre will create a lot of music and then also not put out music. Yeah. I've talked about you, my friend. I've heard the stuff that you have done with artists that are out here. And then you've been like, nah, I'm throwing all that away. And I'll be like, you're throwing this away. And then I've come back and you've been like, oh, here's the new stuff.
And then you'd be like, oh,
better. I was like, oh, okay, that is much better. And then you'd be like, I'm also throwing all this away. Is that effect with like seeing people like Dr. Dre or Kanye work and seeing the amount of output that they will put together, but also be like, like, did that affect you in terms of how you're putting out work, how you're putting out work?
Probably not in that sense. It affected me in the sense of just pushing to be the absolute best that I can put out. I think when I do that now is more so because it's like when we do it at that moment, I know that it's more inside that artist. And it's like, nah, I need that stuff that you hiding. Mm-hmm. I need that stuff that you don't really want to come out. Because one thing I have learned in this whole thing is like emotion when it comes to music. It's like, if it's not there, then I've heard it already. The only thing I haven't heard is an artist's direct story or how thing affects that artist completely. Anything else I've heard. I've heard every hood nigga story. I've heard every ballin' nigga story. I've heard every woe is me story. I heard every struggle story. So, what did that do to you personally? What are your personal feelings about what you've been through? Unless you're giving me that, I don't want it. So we might have to do 10 records to get to that one that's going to give me what I want from you.
You're making sense.
So, all right, now that I got that one, this is now the standard. So now we're doing these records and then you might stumble upon something that now tops the standard. So now this one record might be able to stay because now we here and this is the white hot spot. Now we got to stay here. So now we got to keep being here. So it's really just about pushing yourself to find that thing that's so deep that it's undeniable. And on that same front, like while y'all hear records with artists that I do that don't come out, nobody sees how many times I've done that beat for that artist or how many times I've produced that song in my head. Yeah, you heard that version of it. It's 15 different ones though. You didn't hear me try it with these drums. You didn't hear me try it with that sample chop. You didn't hear it with the live bass. You didn't hear it with the 808. You didn't hear it stripped down. You didn't hear it fully produced. You didn't hear it sequenced like this. Nobody sees that part of it. I push myself to that same measure that I push artists to.
That's a Jedi. That's what you're supposed to be doing. People that are making music and make that 2 beats, nah, you need to be like that. That's how music is created.
Yeah. So it's just like, that's, if anything, it affected me in that sense. Like seeing that there's another bar even when you think you've hit the bar. Nah, that ain't it. That ain't it. It's something else.
How do you know when it's ready? How do you know when it's like...
You feel it.
You just get a feeling.
You just feel it. You just know it. You just know it. Like,
and if you don't get that feeling, you're comfortable just being like, hey.
Yeah, I just let it sit there if I don't get that feeling. It's cool.
How does that work with working with artists? Because every artist might not feel, I guess that's the other thing, working with artists that don't necessarily are not used to getting produced. You hear artists talk about that like, yo, I went to work with Dr. Dre and I didn't know that I had to do all of that. I didn't know that we were I thought it was great until I saw him doing something and he's like, what's that one sound in the background? I don't like that. We changing the whole thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We're working with artists, like, if you're not going to trust me to do my job, I don't even want to work with you. You got to understand, like, the job of the producer is, like, I know me. Am I good at making beats? Yes, I can make good beats. That's not the thing, though. The thing with me is the vision. I see it all the way out. I remember working with, because my artist is Dante Higgins. Let's drop that now. I remember working with Dante and we called, I don't even want to say who it was right now. We called somebody over to take a listen. They listened to 3 songs. And this is when Dante understood it. They listened to 3 records and was like, with these 3 songs, no promo, no nothing, I could walk y'all in somewhere and get $1 million. But if we put in X amount of hours, we do a few more songs, y'all do a little boom, 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 we can walk in here and get $1 million each. And they left. And I remember he looked at me and goes, if that's what they seen off 3 records, what do you see? And my reply to him was, exactly.
Yeah.
Understand how far I see it. That's the gift. The vision is like, my gift is vision, knowing when it'll work and how it'll work. That's what my gift is. My gift, yeah, I'm cool at the music stuff, but it's ultimately the vision.
What was it about Dante? How do you connect with Dante? Like, well, yeah.
It was like, connecting with Dante was, I ran into Charity and Nate, Charity and Coop, and they were producers at the time. And I remember judging them at a beat battle and they were dope. And I remember going up to them and I was like, y'all are going to win. I just know it. I just felt it. I felt it. I was like, y'all going to win. Hit me and let me know how it goes. Cause I only judged the first round and I had to go cause I had a session. They hit me later and was like, we won. I was like, I told y'all. They were just dope. And I was like, I'm gonna help y'all get y'all first placement. Fast forward to Charity and Coop being on No Dope and Sundays. And then we started working together a lot, working on more CyHi stuff. And then Coop wanted to go his separate way. And now I have a working relationship with them. So we just kept it going. And at that time, I was like, man, I'm tired of producing for people. And Charity was like, yo, I got this guy. And I was like, who is he? Brought Dante. I was like, oh, I like him. And I met him. And I remember one time I was like, well, if he's serious, he'll come to Atlanta. It was like 3 days. 3 days later, Dante was at the crib. I was like, oh, okay, well, he's serious. All right, let's go. And it just started from there. And that he has that special thing. It's like it's just something in him that is just when it's clicking, it's like, yeah, man. It's that emotion. It's just people are drawn to him. He knows how to articulate it. And that's what I look for. Conviction. That's the first thing I look for in any artist is conviction. I don't care how good you can rap. Do I believe you?
It's that God level.
Do I believe you? Conviction. That's why all of my favorite artists are who they are for a reason. Like that, like people always like when I list my top, like when I list my 5, it's like, okay. I think a lot of people would be shocked by one of my top 5 picks, just knowing who I am and knowing like what I is, of course, is, you know, Big, Jay, 3 Stacks. This is my one pick that people be like, I can see it, but you wouldn't really expect it. Scarface. Faces top 5 dead or alive.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't see that from me because you would think it's more like a Common or a Jadakiss or somebody like that. No, Face is the first time I heard his voice. A minute to pray and a second to die. I never heard anybody tell a story like that.
Yeah.
I've been a Scarface fan since that day. I was like, oh my God, now I got to go back and listen to everything. And I did. Yeah. So when I get that feeling, when you can just tell that story and I feel like I'm there with you, when I feel it, yeah, we good. Give me that. I'll take that over somebody that is the greatest technical, lyrical rapper of all time. I want to feel it, G.
Of course.
Yeah, give me that first. So that's what I always look for. Conviction.
Who's your 5th?
Do I believe you?
You named 4.
Nas.
Okay.
I believe it.
Nas. Yeah.
I believe him.
Nas. It's just, yeah, he was like, it's just the way that he painted it. And then that's when you get into, like, you give that 5, but now you got to give the reason that 5 is that 5. So now you get into the Rakims. You get into, you know, KRS-One. You get into Kane. You get into G-Rap.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, I'm a student. Yeah. Like,
plus your 5, all of them are comfortable in their skin.
Yeah.
They're not trying to be anybody else. Even when people attack their character, people attack Jay-Z's character. Jay-Z's I am what I am. Nas, up until recently, went through, like, low-key, a lot of backlash.
yeah, he got a lot of slander for
years.
Yeah.
The worst beats. You the Khalees. And then it was like, yo, I'm doing business and I don't care what y'all say.
Like, whatever.
And then he rose.
So?
People now are slandering 3 Stacks.
Yeah,
and it's like when he's comfortable with who he is, I'm going to play a flute. You think I care?
Have you ever heard this man rap?
Exactly.
Like, yeah,
he don't got a real solo album. I was like,
so?
Okay. And
I hate
the,
that.
the fact that we even, the fact that we
which is one
even,
of my favorite albums.
the fact that we even debate that from somebody with no definitive solo rap album says everything about it. Yeah. And so this is now my argument when people do that. He doesn't have a solo rap album. All right, who's the greatest female rapper of all time?
We know she doesn't have one.
They always say Lauryn Hill.
Yeah.
Does she have a definitive solo rap album? Nope. The Miseducation was not a rap album.
If people talk about that.
So if y'all gonna give her that credit, why can't Stacks have it?
I feel that they try to dispel her. And when they bring that up, I always be like, she stood out.
Hey, man, look.
Yeah.
Listen, bro. Stacks all day.
So you're a student of the game.
Yeah, man. I studied everything.
That's
like really studied
everything. I mean, your top 5 are the greats, and they push.
Now, I mean, even down to like my producer, Mount Rushmore. Quincy Jones, number 1. Dr. Dre, number 2. J Dilla, number 3.
Okay.
Number 4 is like a tie between the RZA, Organized Noise, and I'll give it to Kanye, and there's a reason for him being there specifically. Ye was the person that really made me understand you can crash different genres with soul still. You can stay soulful but crash other genres. That's why Ye gets that accreditation. And if I break down my Rushmore and you know my music, you'll hear it. Quincy Jones, that's the reason I sequence records the way I do.
I can understand. Yeah.
It's always movie-esque. It's the winding of it. Dr. Dre is the quality. Like, come on, man. Dre does stuff that we still can't figure out.
Bassline and an 808 at the same
Like I
time.
was listening to NWA last week and I'm like, why does this still sound better than everything else?
I was running and I heard nothing but a G thing, and it switched from one thing to that, and it sounds so clear.
I texted him one day and I was like, do you know what you did when you did Dope Man? Like, we know the sample, but nobody can still redo this, right?
How clean,
man.
and then that kick.
Jay Dilla is, that's where I get the what the fuck from. When you can hear it, but I can give you my samples and you still can't figure it out.
Yeah.
That's what I took from Dilla. The what the fuck. And the RZA was like, how the hell did you merge all of this stuff that was out of key and it still made sense?
Yeah.
I don't get it. And Organized Noise, if you listen to my production, I tell people all the time, that's who taught me by studying drums. Organized Noise would take records that were a head nod tempo, but they would bounce. Cell Therapy is a head nod hip hop tempo, but it bounces.
Oh yeah.
How did they achieve that? So I studied all of them. Literally like was breaking it apart and got to sit with quite a few of my favorites and really just like pick their brains on stuff like, so what were you thinking when you did this? Why did you do that? Okay, interesting. But yeah.
What's going on? What brought you here?
That's when I came for Dante. Like, you know,
Okay.
we came and we was like, all right, we're gonna do this thing. And I got here and I remember when I first moved here, my whole plan was I want to work with everybody in Houston. So I was like, hit everybody and tell everybody to pull up. I'm working with everybody. And nobody came. It's like,
That's what a lot of people thought.
like, damn, all right, okay, well, fine. I mean, I did meet some really amazing artists here that I still just listen to just on some like, I just listen to these people.
Yeah.
Like, people just got some fly. I mean, one person that did come, and he came when we was in Atlanta, and that was George Young. George came through, and we did our one with George. That was fire. That was dope. D-Lo came through before. We got a couple joints with Dante and D-Lo that probably nobody ever heard. Who else has come through? Propane came through, which is how like we co-produced like quite a few records on, not the last album that he just dropped, but the one out before that, the one with City on Fire and all of that. Yeah, we co-produced quite a few joints. Like the joint he did with Zero. Yeah. Like nobody knows that we're on there, but yeah. Shh, don't tell nobody. And
also Propane got that top of the year freestyle.
Yeah. And the last person that from Houston that's come through was Killer Leon came through.
Why the diabolical laughter?
Yeah, man, it's, you know, we'll see what happens.
Okay.
But just understand that it's in motion.
Run it.
And that, all right, great segue. I'll segue this myself. Got that play from the good brother Big K.R.I.T.
Okay.
So yeah, K.R.I.T put me and Killer on a group chat. Killer pulled up and we went and started doing our thing. So K.R.I.T is also another good friend.
Okay.
That I work with.
Sweet.
Well, let's talk about some of the work that you have that you can speak about that's upcoming.
Okay. Yeah, me, you know what I'm saying? There's no secret that me and K.R.I.T have been in the studio. I mean, we posted photos, you know, last year we were locked in for like quite some time. So, there's a lot of work that took place. So yeah, can't tell you when or what, but yeah, it's a lot.
Okay.
Me and CyHi are always jamming in the kitchen, even when it don't seem like we rocking. But like you never know when me and him are doing a lot of stuff. And when I say rocking, I mean just like making music together, because that's always my dog. But it's been quiet. Yeah. But yeah,
I'm cool with that, because I feel like CyHi drops when he just drops.
I mean, like when I say quiet, like I'll say like, you know, just on some G's, like, man, we may have done like 5-6 records in the last month.
Okay.
Yeah, we just loading up. I mean, I can confirm the story of Mr. EGOT is coming. I've heard it in its entirety. I'm part of it, of course. That's all I got to say.
Is it still going through changes? Because we've been waiting for some years.
Yeah, we close. We super close. It's just like, it's really one of those things where it's like what I was saying. It's like we're there and then you do something. It's like, something got to come off because we're continuing to push the standard. So yeah, but yeah, it's coming. It's tough. Like it's tough. Yeah. It's special. Like for real. I'm not even just saying that because that's my dude. But yeah, like I remember like when I first went to listen to it before I was like heavily involved, I probably had like 1 or 2 joints on the whole project when I first went and heard it. And I was like, wow. Yeah, man, you did it. Proud of you, bro. Like, yeah.
In this current version of it, how many are you on now?
I don't know.
It's like talking to a government official. Because we ask you questions, you'd be like,
I don't know, man.
Who else? So you got anybody else? Do you have anybody else?
CyHi, K.R.I.T, that's coming immediately. Yeah, those two. It's a couple things that I'm like lining up. There was some stuff I was lining up on the way here. I don't want to speak on it yet. I'm one of those people, I don't talk until it happens.
Okay.
I typically don't say anything until I know for sure.
Especially in the world of production.
Yeah, like you never know. Like it might change the day that it comes out. It's like, yeah, I got this record on. Yeah, man, we couldn't use it. What? Yeah, so I don't even talk about it until it happens. But like right now, I'm really just focused on what I'm focused on. I'm really trying to.
What are you focused on?
Stuff.
Tell us.
Nah, it's like for real. It's like every so often I get to a space where I feel like I have to unlock a new level. So I'll shut down and go find something in me, and then I'll come back outside.
Okay.
It's important.
Yeah, so like I'm kind of like in that space now, like where I'm like doing stuff that I'm studying a lot more now. I'm also like going back and researching it because I'm like I said, I'm a student. So recently what I did was the very first keyboard that I ever made a beat on was like my high school girlfriend, her brother, he had this keyboard and I used to make beats over there just playing around. And I went and found it because I'm like, I wonder if I could bring them sounds and do something with it. So I went and found that. I've been researching like the equipment that like the greatest people ever use. So I'm like, about to start going and collect a few more pieces to add to the squad just to like, just to create like a sound of what I really want to happen. That's always my thing. Like, I'm gonna go make what I want to hear.
Yeah.
And figure it out later as far as where it goes. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of how you push it forward. Like, what do I want to hear? Because if it ain't coming out, let me go make it.
Yeah.
Which is what started me producing in the first place.
What's your favorite piece of hardware?
Ooh. My Moog synthesizers, both of them. I have the Sub 37 and I have the Voyager. Those are my favorite pieces of hardware because it's like those were like dream pieces. Like I remember looking at this Voyager like, I'm gonna get it one day. And I remember researching it. I'm like, that's $10,000. I'm not gonna get it one day.
You got a Moog for real?
Yeah, I got 2 of them. 2 of those, Prophet. I use a lot of stuff, like whatever gets the job done. Like I went through, cause I was like out of my homeboys. Like when we started like producing back in Chicago, we had a squad called a Freshman. I was the dinosaur of the crew. I was the last one to go digital. I'd be in that joint with the micro cord. We got a Phantom. We got a Triton. I got an MPC. I was like, I'm never touching a computer.
And those were the super hot things
at
the time.
And then I started getting on these computers and I was like, I'm never getting a million synthesizers. Now I'm going back to the synthesizers. Like, I hate computers.
When it comes to a Moog, we were at a particular concert I'm not going to name.
Yeah.
But Mike Dean.
Boy, when you see what that thing do.
All day and it set the tone. And when we were walking around, he's just playing the Moog. And I'm sitting there going, oh my God.
It's just, that is like one of the most special things ever. So I'm like, now I'm going back and looking for like old vintage Roland synthesizers. Solely because it's like, I told myself I'm a jump back into this R&B bag for a minute.
Understand.
So I'm going back, and I'm not going to say why I'm going to get these vintage Roland synthesizers or what was the inspiration, because I don't want nobody to try to take my thing and run with it before I get to do it.
I can imagine there's certain instruments that I'm not going to name.
Yeah, and there's certain people that use certain things, and I'm not going to say that now because I don't want y'all to try to do my thing before I'm going to do it.
It'll restore the feeling.
Yeah, y'all will see it later. It's going to happen though. So yeah, I was always one of those people. Like I would research, like, what does this person use? Like, what does that sound? I think that was also like a thing as far as like being a producer that kind of like made me a little different than some people. Like I remember me and my homeboy Siege Monstrosity, that's my dog. I remember we were talking about this Stevie Wonder record, and we were trying to find out what this one lead was. We were going so crazy about it. Like I would go to record stores and try to find a record, because on the vinyl, they used to list the instruments on it. We went that far, and then we started researching what studios had what synthesizers, where did Stevie record this? What did they have there? Like that's how deep we were going just to try to find this one sound. Yeah. And then we ended up I think he started it. He sent it to me. I started changing the presets. I tweaked it and I sent it back to him, and we made it. We got kind of close to it. Yeah, that's how much I nerd out on like equipment and stuff.
You should, because one Wurlitzer Rhodes don't
sound like the other,
on somebody else's, because of the textures and the fatness at the bottom, and you can only recreate so much.
Yeah, and it's like even like with one of my Moog joints, like the tune is off, so you got to tune it up. Like if you put it where it's supposed to go, it's not going to be in tune. So you got to kind of know. You got to let it sit for about 10 minutes and warm up. Like you got to know all of that stuff. Yeah, I'll be nerding out.
It's an old piece of instrument.
Yeah, it's just like they stopped making these things in like 20 years ago. Yeah. So you got to.
I can tell because I have no idea. When he gets in the production, I have
so
what y'all talking about.
Yeah, I'll be super nerding out.
Hey, that's cool.
Yeah, I'll be super nerding out on that part.
Yeah. I don't know what y'all talking about, man.
Yeah.
But okay, so now I guess you listen to The Voice.
Mm-hmm.
What does The Voice still talk to you?
No.
What do you feel is your purpose now? Like what keeps you fulfilled and keeps you going?
Man, honestly, so when I heard The Voice, it was like one of those things where like I can honestly say ever since that moment I've trusted. I've never had another moment where I didn't trust God for real. And that was the power of hearing a voice. As far as purpose, like everybody goes through finding your purpose is not the easiest thing in the world to do, because a lot of people confuse your purpose with your passion. It's not the same. No, it's not. Like, I'm great at music. Everybody's like, people be like, you're doing your purpose. It's not what you think. Music is not my purpose. It is not. This is not my purpose. This is just the vehicle. I did my purpose at the beginning of this conversation when I was telling people about my struggles, and then I was telling people about my relationship with God. That's my purpose. Music is just a vehicle. This just so happens to be one of the arenas where we need those conversations the most. So that's why I'm here, to do those things. Every studio session I have, I talk about God. How can I not? You can't ask me about what I do without me mentioning it. This ain't talent. This is not talent. I didn't work hard at this thing. I worked hard as far as the hustle goes and the positioning. When it comes to the actual musical gift, being able to hear samples and chop samples and put drums to this and make that drum and that thing, that's a gift. It's not talent. I can't read music. I've never read a manual on studio equipment, ever. I just go in there and figure it out. I can't tell you what I hear. I can't explain to you how I know how to do things. That's how I know it's a gift. So how can I talk about that? How can I talk about knowing that this is a gift without talking about God? Your purpose makes sense of your passion. Oh, now I know why I got this gift. Your purpose makes sense of your past. I had to go through all of that stuff just to talk to y'all about how I was covered the whole time.
Yeah.
Your purpose makes sense of your present. This is why I'm here in this particular place. I had a lot of other places that I could have been, but I'm here for a reason. Your purpose makes sense of your pain. Every single thing I've ever went through that hurt me was to help somebody else somehow, some way. So that's what my purpose is, like to help people and to make sure that I remind people of who God is and God's power for real. Like I wouldn't be here without none of that. So music is not the purpose. It's just a vehicle.
You know, even when it comes to music, you've been focused on the production. You're laying the groundwork and that foundation for somebody else to say what they've got to get out. Mm-hmm. And of course, you're going through like, I want to push you to get out what you need to say, but you know how to rap. Mm-hmm. Do you ever think about going back and saying, well, so you don't think about rapping ever? You listen to Dante
every
rap,
now and
rap,
again,
like, you're never like, yo, let me.
I got a few raps in the stash, but it's just like, nah, it's not as fulfilling as it used to be. And then too, like I also feel like when I did step into that arena, or if I step into it now, I would feel boxed in because as an artist, I can only be this. As a producer, I get to be everybody.
It's true.
It's a lot more fun. But as an artist, like this is my thing. I know my thing as an artist too. I know my thing. So I'm not going to deviate from that thing. So when I do it, I know I can do that. But is it as fulfilling or is it even as fun as, okay, I might have to work on West Side Gun today and Kalani tomorrow. That's fun to me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, oh, I got to completely switch gears and go to a whole other genre. Let me see how I can do this other thing with everything that it is that I do. It's actually fun for me. That's the fun. When the pressure is on, now I'm having fun.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all need what? By when? Let me go see if I can do it.
Challenge.
Yeah. That's the pressure. That's the fun. So as an artist, I feel like as an artist, when you have a thing, you kind of like, I can't talk about everything as an artist because I haven't experienced everything. I can talk about everything as a producer because I can feel those things. It's like Puppet Master.
We talk about pressure. You got a one-on-one connection. I mean, you talk to Dr. Dre occasionally. You're able to communicate with him. Mm-hmm. You ever ask him the pressure filled question about what I need to do to move up? What I need to do to improve my production? What is it that I need to do to push harder? How do I get up to your level? What does he say?
I can't. I don't know.
I knew you weren't gonna say that.
Nah, that's like one thing about me and bruh is like I don't never really like if y'all know me very well. Yeah. I never talk about my personal relationships with you. Yeah, and that's a very personal thing to me as far as like what we converse about. But I'll just say this: that is somebody that when I need that phone call and I need to call somebody and I need to ask for advice or I need to know something, he won't hesitate. So yeah, we've had them conversations. We've had a lot of them conversations. Like that's why I hold him in such high regard because of the conversations that we've had that nobody is privy to. And that's why I keep those conversations sacred.
As you should, because he hates that.
Yeah, it's a personal thing, man. Yeah. It's like, everybody knows I know him, but my relationship with him is a personal one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
You still in contact with
No. Nah. And that's cool.
Nobody.
No, right.
This
is like that guy's a nomad. I don't think he's in contact with himself.
I think Ye is only in contact with Ye.
Yeah, I don't think Kanye is in contact with Kanye.
Yeah. You don't even think that.
You know what? I mean,
he doesn't talk to himself really often. Nah, I mean,
I guess that's the other thing too. Like you're a part of Pablo, and you're seeing all that happen, and you're there. It's you and it's CyHi and all this stuff is happening. As the Ye train starts to change trajectory,
derail.
It's like hitting the lottery, and it's like, yo, I've got it. It's all coming
You're
together.
there at the last good thing, and then everything else. Everything else from my perspective is trash.
Your boy made a song about Hitler. Like, what I'm saying? Like, wild things start happening. What is that like to me? I mean, even behind the scenes, are people like,
it's the funniest thing because, like, Yeah. Those are like the most infamous. Yo, what's up with your boy? That's like that's the message I get the most. All right. So I don't know. I really don't know because it's like, all right, there's a lot about Holmes that I can say. Like if you've been around him, you'll get like, I will say these things. He's definitely the type of person that you have to let talk long enough.
Okay.
He does make a lot of sense sometimes.
It's like, yeah.
I remember one time I posted and I was like, everything he's not saying is wrong.
Yeah.
But it's also like, you know, how he says it.
Yeah.
Where he says it. You know, yeah.
Yeah,
that's pretty much
period.
that's really the real thing. Like I remember, and I'll just give this quick story. I remember we were all chilling. It was a lot of us. And I remember he said something at the beginning of this conversation. Now, mind you, it's like 8 of us. There's no way to predict where the conversation is going to go with 8 people in the room, right? So he says this thing, and I can't remember verbatim what he said, but I just remember it being some of the most outrageous. Like, I'm hanging with people. We were around people that have known this guy since he was like younger. And when he says this thing, we look at each other like, what the fuck? So we about 2 hours into the conversation and somebody else says something and he goes, see, that's what I'm talking about. And then he relates it back to the original thing that he said and it made complete sense. I was like, how the fuck? He thinks way different.
Yeah.
He's got to.
He thinks
So
way
10%
different.
of the time, he's right 100% of the time. You know what I mean?
It's like one of those things.
I'm 100%
yeah.
right 10% of the time.
Yeah, that is one of those things.
Oh, okay,
it's like, yeah. And then too, like, when people are like, is he
Like
really crazy? And I'm
90% of the
like,
time.
he's like, is he really crazy? And I'm like, you got to think, like, you know, who wouldn't be a little different with that type of access?
Yeah.
With that type of access, you get to do excess. To be totally honest, if I wasn't who I was as far as like the stuff that I went through and not got what he got at the time that he got it, you gotta think, bro was like 20-something years old when he was college dropout, when he was becoming the biggest thing in the world. He was still in his 20s. He was still in his 20s.
Yeah.
So, and you got to think, like, for me, the difference is most of my tumultuous things that I went through were early.
Yeah.
So what if I got to like 26, 27 before anything really crazy or groundbreaking ever happened to me? And I got that?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be just as crazy. I'm sure I would.
Yeah.
Change the face of music.
Yes, I'm sure I would probably be somewhere trying to communicate with aliens if I had what he had without anything happening to me.
I mean, when you create at such a high level and you do so many different things, of course you're going to look for something different.
And then you also got to think, like, we cannot fathom how that man views the world because there's only, I believe it's less than 3,000 billionaires in the world. So there's only like 2,000 something other odd people that even seen what he's seen.
Yeah. Not to mention some of his thoughts when he talked about the coffee table thing, which I didn't know how to articulate that, but that's something that I've said before and I believe it. Yeah. It's like you're limiting yourself. You're a limited child when they stand on the coffee table and say, don't do that. And then like after a while, they learn I'm supposed to fit in this box. And Kanye's like, I'm just not going to fit in a box. And that's why I do give him some leeway with that, where I'll be like, you got to have that freedom because people kind of fit rigidly. They want to fit rigidly in the box, but their favorite people and don't fit in the box. Tupac.
I think that's the thing with him. He's so outside of the box that most people just can't fathom it. Now, I'm not going to sit here and talk and say that I actually understand everything that he does or even that I like everything that he does. I'm like, sometimes I'll be like, this motherfucker's batshit crazy. But then it's like, you know, you got to understand, like, he's a rarity as far as like free thinkers go. We don't see that often. We just don't see it often. And that's just a fact of the matter. Okay. Like, there's not a lot of people that sit here and really say to themselves, like, nah, like, nigga, if I really wanted to tap into it, I can fly. He's that type of person. Like, no, nigga, I can fly. No, you can't. Yes, I can. And he'll argue you as to why he can fly. And then after a while, it actually will make sense that he believes it, you know, because when you think that there is no idea is original, So where the fuck did I get the notion that I can fly from if it didn't happen before?
We're not going down a Kanye philosophical.
No. I'm just saying.
That man is crazy.
I believe you're that. I believe you have that too. You're that driven. Given with everything that's happened to you, a lot of people would fold with the Google story, and then like having to sell your equipment. That's the end of a lot of people. A lot of people would fold, even with your attempts with suicide. Where are you at right now mentally, though?
Great. Like honestly,
it was everywhere.
Nah, like honestly, I just really since all of that stuff happened, I've seen the impossible happen too many times for me to believe that anything is impossible.
Yeah.
Like when I say like really faith-based. So mentally I'm like, do I have rough days like everybody else? Yeah. But I wholeheartedly believe that I can get through it. God will keep me through it. Because it's like I look at the stuff that I deal with now and I'm like, that's nowhere near what I had to deal with. And if I was covered and kept through all of that, that you think you saying that or you putting that in front of me is going. Yeah, that's me. For real. Like, it's just cool. Okay. Yeah. I've seen impossible happen too many times to believe that, yeah. So that keeps me in a great space. I'm not really sitting here like, oh my God, my life is, no, because I've seen how fast it can turn around. So it can happen again. If it happened once, it can happen again. Do you trust in it to happen again? Do you trust the process of it all? And that's what I was saying earlier. Yeah, it was one thing for me to believe in God, but to trust him. And once I started going back to purpose, once I understood my purpose, I trust that whatever I got to deal with is I have to deal with this for what you need me to do. It ain't about me. So when you get there, it's like, yeah, it's not about me.
Yeah.
So I'll be all right.
Yeah.
I'll be fine. So even when you come against obstacles, that wasn't even about me. I'll be fine. That's gonna come into play somewhere else down the line for somebody else. So I'm cool.
That's a great way to look at things.
Yeah.
Don't take it personal.
Absolutely.
It's not even about you. Your life ain't even about you.
Elaborate on that.
It's not about you.
Yeah.
Your life is for what your purpose is, and your purpose ain't even about you. If nobody's ever, The Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren. It's a great book.
Yeah.
I read that book and I learn something about purpose all the time. And I've read that book probably 15 times, front to back, maybe more than that. I try to read it like once a year because I just learned something different. The first sentence, once you get past all of the first sentence of the first chapter is, it's not about you. Like the way he broke down certain things, like, God knew. He knew that my mom and my dad's DNA is what needed to make me. He knew they wouldn't stay together. He knew if they would stay together. He knew all of this prior to. My life is not about me. It's about my purpose. And the reason, like I always tell people, is like that book just put so much into perspective. It's like, this is why you got to go to God for your purpose. The book, this is one of the coldest quotes I've ever read in my life. An invention can't tell you its purpose, only the inventor. A can opener can't tell you what it's supposed to do. Only the person that invented the can opener can. So how can I tell you what my life is about? I didn't invent me. I got to go to the source. And I got to ask, what's the purpose? Oh, okay, God, that's what the purpose is. Now I can tell people. It's a great book. Great book.
That was deep.
That is.
I'm also going to address the fact that we're going to fix this screen behind us. I've been seeing you looking behind us.
It
the
pops
screen
up.
going to get fixed.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
Pop up. We a little technical difficulty, but we had such a deep conversation.
Yeah, I didn't expect you to go this way.
I didn't either.
I I thought we were just gonna
talk about music and just
I thought we were
fun.
gonna talk about like what's happening in Houston with the music, all that other kind of stuff. But we went deeper, and I liked it. I liked it a lot.
That was what, and that goes to purpose. It was just supposed to go that way.
Yeah,
it really was supposed to go that way.
It was a therapy session.
Yeah, absolutely.
Didn't I say that when I first sat on the couch? I was like, this feels like I'm a therapist.
It feels like therapy.
So tell us, what do you have coming out next? If the pieces that you can't tell us.
I don't even know which body of work is dropping first, to be honest. I just don't know what's coming first. It's like I'm the type, I put so much there, and I'm usually working with a usual group of suspects, so I'll just be sending stuff, and you just never know until you get that phone call like, hey, we're going to put this out.
Yeah.
Say less. Let's go.
But people can still stay in contact with you on social media.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all.
I tap in every now and again.
Goes live with production.
Man.
Yeah, I just be going live just playing stuff.
All the time. Just playing things.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Whatever medium it is.
I got to be honest, I feel like
fun.
not enough people pop in. But the people that do pop in
don't miss the show.
Are really getting a chance to experience some things. So it's one of those things where I'm just like, people, how can I connect with such and such producer and da-da-da. There are producers that are out here working. The same thing as you were saying, like, oh, buddy was like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, he's tweeting. Mm-hmm. And we up. We working. And not a lot of people might know about it.
Yeah.
But you don't realize, this person works with this person. This person works with that person. This person works with that person.
That came full circle.
Yeah.
K.R.I.T ends up mixing CyHi's album. K.R.I.T is also 2 Chainz engineer. K.R.I.T also found Jack Harlow. All people that I've worked with. All because I remembered what real nigga hours were. So when I met K.R.I.T in Atlanta, I was like, oh man, I used to tweet real nigga hours all the time. You should bring it back. And now there's one of my homies in the industry. We just talk. Like anytime me and K.R.I.T get on the phone, we might call each other for a thing. We're on the phone for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Talking about nothing. Just everything under the sun. All because I used to see this man tweet real nigga hours. So when I met him, I said that to him.
That's what's good about your story, which people can learn from the gems that you've dropped. It's about having those relationships with people. And a lot of times it's not like a what have you done for me lately? It's just being honest with who you are as a person. Because people there's a lot of times when people will be like, oh, why don't these 2 artists work together? And I'll be like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, because them niggas probably know each other. They don't really care for each other. Like sometimes just knowing somebody and really meshing well with that person. You remembered something about KY and that worked because it's not like it was something you were trying to do.
No,
you're just being honest about who you are. And another thing that you mentioned too, as far as gems in this interview, is working at, when it comes to art, especially when it comes to music, sometimes your first take is not really good enough. Keep going. This is art. You got to take this serious. And a lot of people with I'm gonna just add on to a lot with when the programs became accessible for everybody, I saw a lot of people get lazy. And that's why I think music, especially hip hop, is in the way it is right now. I love hip hop. I do. But there's some people that need to push harder. Just push harder.
I'll give you one better. Not only that, when it became a hustle.
I'm not a rapper.
Once it became a hustle, everybody just started to do it because it was like, okay, this is the quick way to get in. It stopped being about the art then. So, okay, cool. I'ma just do it just good enough.
Yeah.
So that's why it's in the space that it's in, really, because everybody's treating it like a hustle. Nobody cares about the art. Like when you care about the art, you can hear it. You know what I'm saying? It's different, which is why it's like, and I always tell people, if you treat it like a hustle and don't care about the art, you'll end up crashing into a wall.
Yeah.
You won't be around long. So like when artists do come to me, I talk to them and I'll be like, what you want to do? It depends on you. If you want to be this type of artist, just understand you're going to have a high output, because every 3 months when the trend change, you got to change unless you're rooted in who you are. That's why certain artists don't have to come outside. Cold them drop and we don't see them boys for 3 years. Then they come back outside like, I think I got something to say. Cool. Great.
Yeah.
We're fine with that.
Yeah.
And what
But then there's some artists that got to drop 7 projects a year because you sound like whatever is new, because you haven't taken the art itself serious and you haven't figured out your place in this thing.
Yeah, now it's a business.
Yeah, so that's why I tell people, like, it depends on who you want to be. Yeah. Do you want to be here forever, or do you just want to make money? Now, if you want to make money, just like in the street, it's about the turnover, it's about the flip, it's about how fast you can do this. It's not about the profit. That was the biggest misconception with hustling. Everybody thought it was about the profit. Nah, G. That's why I hustled better than a lot of people. Cause while homies is out here trying to get the biggest profit off a pack, I'm just trying to turn it over faster than you. So by the time you trying to find buyers, I'm getting them because I'm turning it over cheaper.
And you got repeat customers.
But I'm doing it faster.
Yeah.
So by the time you get off your pack, you made your profit, but I done made your profit times 10 because I done flipped 20 packs. Mm-hmm. It's not about the profit. It's about the comeback. It's about the flip. How fast can you do it?
It's about that experience.
How fast can you turn it around? So with that being said, that's what happens with the music. If you get into this with a hustler's mentality, the only way to win is how fast can you turn it around. That means you got to keep doing this. But if you treat it like you care about it, now you can be the guy that don't have to do this all the time. You can do one project every 5 years and be fine.
Yeah.
Because if you care about the art, then that means you're going to sell out stadiums, while these other guys got to be put on a summer jam or a spring jam with 35 other artists. Yeah. And if they go out by themselves, they can only sell out 200-300 cap rooms. You can come out and do a stadium tour and make what they make on one tour in 5 years.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Who you want to be?
Who do you want to be?
Figure that out.
And we found out about who you are today. Where can they find you on social media?
Man, I am Mark Byrd everywhere. IAMMARKBYRD. That's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, website, marketing. G, you don't change who you like. Make it easy for people to find you.
Yeah.
I don't have 37 different like social media handles. It's the same one. You cannot. It's easy. Just Google it. Everything will pop up.
Mark Byrd with a Y.
Mark Byrd with a Y.
That's what it is. Man, we want to thank you for coming by.
Man, thank y'all, bro.
So much. This is the second time we've had you on In My Humble Opinion podcast, everybody. My name is Avery, like a very nice guy.
Marketing. I'm just Devon.
I'm Lee's son. I got that from you.
We're Brenda and Larry's son, because Larry listens. He'd be like, what about me? Yes, our parents are still together.
Oh, well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't want to disrespect my pop with that stupid hat. But if you know, you know. All right, In My Humble Opinion podcast. H-Town is too sweet. H-Town is too sweet.
It's about to go off, so let's go and get the release dates for CyHi and... No, I'm just...
Call Dr. Dre.